some examples. One of my girlfriends, she began to work very early, married very early, and she often said that when she retires, she will travel the world. In the meantime, she retired and she's sitting at home, and her dream will never come true because she cannot imagine to travel alone. Her husband is not up to travel, her two daughters are married and work and have no time to travel together with her. Would she force herself to go with a group? She would not be alone. She would meet new people and she would be able to travel the world. But she can't imagine. She just cannot imagine to make one step without one of her family. Second, a story. You might know it. You might have seen it in a movie. There is a homeless man and he's together with some people who are his friends. They party every night. He sleeps in a box, which is his home where he feels cozy. This is what he is used to. And he inherited a fortune from his uncle. He's found by someone and brought to his new home. A huge mansion with house personnel. They are awaiting him, greeting him. There are several living rooms. There's a dining room with a large dinner table. There is an indoor pool, a library, a mobile room. Fantastic. But he's not so feeling so good about all this. A lady comes and says, "Sir, your bath is ready." Bath? He didn't have the bath for years. He really feels uncomfortable, but he takes the bath and then he goes to one of the living rooms and the butler comes and asks him if he can bring him his drink. He says, "Just bring me a beer." And the butler says, "At this time of the day, sir, your uncle used to have a whiskey. We have one of the best malt whiskies from Scotland, sir." Well, he's not so crazy about having a whiskey and he doesn't even know what is a malt whiskey. And this is going on and on. A few days later, he sneaks out the door, goes back to the street, to his friends and parties. Feels good, because this is the love he's used to. Now, what happens here is that the whole system doesn't want any change, and every change comes with a discomfort, and your system wants to avoid the discomfort. It will do everything to make you stay in what you are used to. And this is a problem for you when you have a large goal. There is something which is holding you back. So how to make your system be open and even help you to reach your goals and to get what you want and to make your dream life come true? Get used to little changes. You have your routine, and every day do one or two things differently as usual. Then get back to your routine and do something else differently. Find every day one or two things. For example, when you're used to first go under the shower and then have breakfast, tomorrow in the morning, have first breakfast and then go under the shower. When you're used to have a glass after work, go straight home. Or go to another cafe or bar. You will not meet the same people. You will meet new people. You will have different talks. Ask for another drink as you're used to. Maybe you're used to have a glass of wine or a glass of beer. Ask for something else. Go to another supermarket as you're used to. Drive another street one day to work, and then again another one. When you're used to go to do some sports on Saturdays, make an excursion next Saturday. And so on and so on. When you're getting used to little changes, it will be much easier to make bigger changes because you will have gotten used to that little discomfort which comes with every change. And your system will not have a reason to avoid it and to hold you back. When you continue to make little changes throughout your life, you will be very different when you are older. As people you are used, as people you know today. When you watch older people who are used to a certain routine for decades, and they have to do tiny little bit different, they're getting miserable. Sometimes they react angry because they're not used to make not even a tiny change. So continue to make changes throughout your life. With time you will have fun with it. You will experience new places. You will get to know new people. And it will be much easier to make a bigger change. It will be easier to achieve larger goals. Now, a few more examples of little changes.
If you usually check your email first thing in the morning, do it for 1 or 2 days after lunch or in the evening. Take another way to your work for a day or two and then choose again another. Eat something differently as usual for breakfast. Eat something for lunch which you never ate before. Eat a food which is unknown to you. Try recipes which are new to you. Skip the breakfast once in a while and instead eat a little more for lunch. Or have a little bite for dinner and instead a bigger breakfast next morning. Do something after work which you're usually not doing. You could go for a walk or go to a cafe to chill out. When you are used to go for a glass after work, go straight home. Meet with people whom you have not seen for a while. Meet new people as you go to new places. Drive to a supermarket where you have not been before. Change the arrangement of the furniture in one room of your home. Learn a foreign language, and when it is only a few words. Find friends on Facebook or Google Plus in different countries of the world and find out more about their culture. Get up half an hour earlier and do something you enjoy during this half hour. If you usually eat at a table, have a picnic on the floor. If you usually eat on the couch, set the table nicely for your next dinner. If you usually listen to one specific radio channel, switch to another for a few days. If you are used to watch a certain TV show, watch another for a few days. You will miss some shows from the one you watch daily, but you get to see something else instead. If you usually buy a certain newspaper or magazine, buy another next time.
When you have a wish, but you cannot really imagine that you will ever be able to get it. Or when you have a very big goal and you can hardly imagine to ever reach it, then divide it into tinier parts. People who climb to Mount Everest, they have first exercised to climb up tinier mountains, and when they start to climb up the Mount Everest, they do it in parts. They first walk up the base camp, and then there's a second base camp, and then they go to the next camp, and they always stay 1 or 2 nights to get used to the thinner air and to the height. This is what you should do with all your goals. For example, if you want to lose weight, do not go on a strict diet overnight. Your body can take that. Eat a little bit less and stay with this amount of food for 2-3 weeks, and then again eat a little bit less. Like this, you eat just a little bit less, so it does not hurt very much, so your whole system does not build up the discomfort and try everything to avoid the change you want to make. And when you stay with it for 2-3 weeks, your body gets used to it, and then you again eat a little bit less. When you want to get up a lot earlier as you're used to, let us say 1 or 2 hours earlier, Don't do it at once. Do it in increments of 10 to 15 minutes. Get up 10 minutes earlier tomorrow, stick with that time for a few days, and then get up another 10 to 15 minutes until you have reached your 1 or 2 hours earlier. If you want to live in a large mansion, but you live in a tiny apartment for the time being, then do it in increments. First move into a little bit larger apartment, and so you get used to all the lifestyle which changes with that move. Then you move to a house, again, stay there for some time, and then look for a wonderful mansion. So do this with all your wishes. Divide your big wish into tinier parts and think about how to reach the first part. This increment should not be bigger as that you can imagine to reach that. When you have reached that part, then it will be easier to imagine that you can reach the next part. Now, take a moment, switch off the video, divide one of your wishes or goals, or your largest goal, into tinier parts, and think about how you can reach the first part.
Divide your big goal into tinier goals and think about what you have to do to reach the first goal. Switch the video off now and do this in writing.
Do the following now. Write down your daily routine of today. When you get up, what you do during the day, what you do in the evening. And then think, how will your life look? And what will be your daily routine when you have reached a big goal or when you live your dream life? When do you get up today? When will you get up? When you have reached a big goal. And compare the whole day. What will you have for breakfast? What will you do during work time? What you do now? What will you do when you live your dream? What you do in the evening? What will you do in your dream life? What will you do during vacation? What will you do in your dream life? And then write down what kind of changes you have to go through. And you will see it's a profound change between your today life and your dream life. Do this in writing. Stop the video. So you have divided your large goal and you already know what to do to reach the first part. And then you continue thinking about how to reach the next part. This is how you can reach almost every goal. You now know how important it is and what a difference it can make in your whole life when you are used to make changes. Continue to make changes every day. Make something differently every day, and the next day again something else. You will go through some discomfort when you make a change. And the more often you make a little change and you have to go through a little discomfort, the easier it will be to make a change, and the less you will feel this discomfort. And you will see that you can make almost every dream come true, because nothing in your system will avoid that change and react with discomfort, with big discomfort. So start already today, doing something differently as you're used to. And have fun with making changes. Divide your bigger goals into tinier parts and be assured you will reach it when you go step by step.